The market took a tumble like Steph Curry did the other night against Houston, with the Dow down over 200 points on the day and closing barely over 18,000. The Nasdaq too fell sharply. This may tell us that there's a sign of more selling to come, so it might be a good time to take some profits. But this close right here tells me that there's a good amount of momentum with people buying back in as well. And there were some winners today. Let's get into it. Shopify, which I mentioned in my last video that was ready and poised for a breakout, popped up in a gap this morning up over 5%. What I mean by this gap is, as we see here, there was a close down over 27.75 range, 28.05, and it gapped up and opened at 29.84. This gap right here happened in pre-market trading, which is not available to all traders, but it is an option, and people do make purchasing and selling decisions at that time. So we had this gap up, which is good news if you got in early, but there is still a good sign here showing that it provided a nice line to provide some support. It could break out further to 31, but also remember, the market was down and it has a chance to possibly be down some more, so it could go down as well. But I see Shopify, remember, as a quick turnaround within the next quarter. This is going to 40 or 50, keep in mind, and the entry point's going to be right around here anyhow, so enjoy the ride. Another one that I mentioned yesterday was Etsy. Etsy, if you can see right here, opens really low, really low, providing a great opportunity first thing in the morning to get in, and boom, quickly, and by the middle of the day you're already out. That's already right there a full dollar swing. So Etsy also making a good play, and it's not too expensive, but also, as you saw here, there was not much volume in the middle of the day. So this is kind of showing like, okay, we had a good ending and it can possibly continue to move forward, but also it could come down right here again to 16, providing another buying opportunity to make this move again, because it looks like it's going to consolidate in this range for the next couple of days with the market being so volatile. One company that also stock that IPO'd recently was Baozun. It's a Chinese e-commerce, and they IPO'd the same day as Shopify. And Baozun is an e-commerce giant, and they're showing that they're going to be making some noise. The reason why we had this spike right here is because in the IPO, Baozun did not get a spike, as you know, as you can see here, Shopify got a little bit of a spike as well, but Baozun didn't really get much of a spike, and it was expected to open at 12, but it came in at 10. So there was investors that saw this as a buying opportunity and saw this as a run-up. But this close right here really worries me, and it looks like it's going to dip right here and provide a nice buying opportunity at 11.75 and pop back up, maybe even again at 12.78. So cheap stocks, good to look at, provides a good opportunity for investors not to invest a lot of money in. I like this, but there's one that you got to keep ready, and that's Apple. At all times, Apple took a huge slide today, and you know what? It doesn't look like it's going to stop there. I look at this as being something that's going to be coming again over here at the 126 range. Why do I see that? Because we had a gap over here, and this gap needs to fill, as we mentioned right here. You know, Shopify created this gap right here. This needs to be filled, meaning the stock price is most likely going to come over here and be in this area at some point soon. As we see here, Apple gapped up on this date, and it's closed at 128.95. Looks like it's pretty close to where we're at right now. I see Apple might quickly dip down to this 126 range tomorrow and then come back up to 127, 128. But it's to keep in mind. Might not happen tomorrow, but I feel like if the stock market continues sliding a little bit, if the Dow and the Nasdaq and the S&P move another 1% or so, you know, Apple just moved into it. So you're going to see an opportunity to buy right here at the 126 range. Something that's really cheap and really nice, as we can see. Early mover, as we saw here in Etsy. Shopify was an early mover, as we saw in the morning. Early movers, we had Twitter. Twitter came in over here at around 36.5, and boom, gave us a nice spike over there, over 36.74. So there's a nice range. You can make a quick run, a quick play, and it doesn't have to take up. Why? Because the rest of the day it looks like it's just it's just solid. You know, it's just a consolidation of everybody did what they had to here. The news came out that Twitter was in the talks to buy Flipboard as well. And then also today Periscope came to Android. So there's good news right here for Twitter, and I feel like this is poised for a breakout, especially I would say within this week, if not tomorrow. There's a strong close. We had a little sell-off at the end, but it was a strong close. And I feel like right here, how the Nasdaq had a nice strong close, it can carry up into the morning, and we can see Twitter opening green and maybe even touching 37. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see some of my live updates, you can check me out on Snapchat as well. Thanks, and make sure to subscribe.